Hello. It is, I really don't know what time it is. Maybe around 1 o'clock. If you're just tuning in, you can see the title, What is Right and What is Wrong, and Why Does It Matter Whether Something is Right and Whether Something is Wrong. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello from my heart to yours. Okay. Um, so this is what it is. On one, just remember that little who was it? Was it Pinocchio and you had Jiminy Cricket? Hello. Um, yeah, you had Jiminy Cricket or whatever, the consciousness whispering in Pinocchio's ear. Okay, you did. You had it whispering in there, and I think at one time you had like the devil on one side and the angel on the other side. They're both whispering in the ear. He's hearing things from one side, and then he's hearing things from another side as to confuse him, okay? Because each side is trying to get to Pinocchio. One side's telling him, yeah, let's go ahead and do all this bad stuff. The other side's telling him, no, don't do it. But you know what happens. He ends up doing the bad stuff, and then he ends up regretting it, okay? That's what happens. But that's beside the point. Just look at this. And picture this ball. This yarn fell down as I was walking back here. Look at this yarn. Just picture this is humanity right here. You know what's happening to humanity? You know what's happening to us? We were once united. Gina, we were never united. Yes, we were at one point in time. We were once united. We were strong. We were complete. Okay, we were tightly knit together, more or less. But here's what's happening. This humanity, look at this, you all. This is what's happening. We are, Gina, can you do that, Gina? I can't do this with one hand. We're coming unraveled. We are becoming unraveled. This is humanity. We are being unraveled, okay? And before long, if this unraveling keeps taking place, because we're being divided, if this unraveling of humanity keeps taking place, there's not going to be nothing left. We're going to be just one big long, there's nothing going to be here. There's no unitedness. There's nothing like that, you all, because, you know, they're dividing people. You got one group of people, what they consider as right. Well, you have other people, what they consider is wrong, okay? And it's just not one group and another group. No, it's not. It's subsets. It's subgroups too. You got subgroups too. Within, you can say the left and the right, okay? They go in there and they divide, and then it keeps splintering and splintering and splintering. And then, you know, you're no longer in agreement with nobody. You're not even in agreement with yourself before it's all said and done, because you're being divided more and more and more. Okay, that's what's happening. We are being divided more and more and more. We're being told, okay, that this is really good. One camp of people are being told this is really good. You have another camp of people, this is really bad. Okay, this is not right. Okay, it isn't, because we're like this ball of yarn. We're coming unraveled is what's happening, and before long we're not going to be joined together. We're not. It's just going to be gone. There's not going to be nothing left. You all, we cannot allow this to continue to happen. You know, we can think for ourselves. We can make decisions within ourselves to determine whether or not something's good and something's bad. We don't have to have a certain train of thought shoved down our throats, because that's what's happening. Hello, everyone. That's what's happening. We have certain trains of thoughts being shoved down our throat. We're not being spoon-fed. It's literally being shoved down our throats to think a certain way, act a certain way. And if that's not good enough, they're going into different areas, and they're dividing even more, and they're shoving things down each other's throats there too. They don't want no unity whatsoever. You may say, Gina, who is they? It's the badness in the world. It's not love. It's not love that's dividing us. Okay, it isn't. It's something else that divides, and it's not grounded in love. I'm telling you right now, it's not grounded in love. It's not. We're being divided. We're hearing, I'm not even going to say it, but we're hearing certain things are good for you. And if you don't agree with that certain train of thought, you're ostracized, okay? You are ostracized. It's literally happening in families. It's happening in friendships. It's really getting down to it don't even matter what it is no more. Boom. Well, you don't think the way I think. Boom, I'm out of here. Okay. Yeah, all you had to do is just think a little bit different and then boom. Okay, because they're listening to something else. Okay, the end goal is to divide. You know, united we stand, divided we fall. It's so true. It's so true. Eugenia, how do we overcome that? We got to stay strong within. We got to be we got to use wisdom. We got to use intuition. We got to learn to think for ourselves. We need to read between the lines of what is being said. What are we watching on the news? What are we looking at? What are we allowing ourselves to listen to? I say listen because you can hear something and you don't have to listen to it. Listen is when you're really paying attention. Okay, you can hear something and you can just let it go. You can let it literally go in one ear and out the other. But when you listen, it's going to go in here and boom. And with your eyes, you know, you can see it, and then your eyes are going to be listening also to what you're seeing, and it's going to go boom because you're going to be taking that because they're going to be telling you this is what's happening, and they're going to tell you to think a certain way. It's not right. Okay, you can look around. It doesn't matter what it is in this life, any area of your life, there's further splintering happening. Okay, it's like churches. Okay. Churches, they get big, then something happens, there's a split. Okay, so that church becomes two church, and then something happens within that split and they split again. It just keeps happening. It keeps further splitting people up and dividing people. What was once like this great big ball of yarn is a very beautiful color. There's nothing left of it. There's no unity. It's all unraveled. It's coming unraveled. Humanity's coming unraveled at the seams. That's what they want. It doesn't have to be that way, okay? It doesn't have to be that way. We can still stay, you know, together. We can if we can use our wisdom within. And, you know, you got wisdom. If you got love, you got wisdom, okay? You can think for yourself. You can see what's being done. You can. And let me tell you something. All this bad stuff that's being said, all this negative stuff that's being said, that is not a frequency of love. I'm telling you, I don't see no love in it whatsoever. None. It's void. In fact, it brings negative emotions and negative feelings within. It brings forth negative fruit. Why do you want to feed yourself something? Well, Gina, it's the truth. If it's the truth will set you free and you'll feel that love is the truth. Okay, love is the truth. Okay, the truth is not going to make you feel very negative on the inside. That's not a byproduct of love where you're feeling really negative. It's not about a byproduct. It's not. Hate is not a byproduct of love. Division is not a byproduct of love. Turmoil, depression, all of this stuff, this gossiping, this slandering, it's not a byproduct of love, okay? When you have people being splintered like that, you have people getting off in these different groups and stuff, and what they were once a whole group, and then they split. Somebody comes in there, and they split it. So what was once whole now is split, and then they're against each other, and they don't even know how it even happened. But I tell you how it happened. They weren't paying attention. They were not paying attention. They allowed the enemy to come in and divide them and separate them. So what was once whole, they divided it. And then you get another whole. And what happens? Something else comes in and it divides that too. So they're no longer whole. And it just keeps dividing. It keeps splitting and splitting and splitting until humanity is so divided they can't even pull themselves back together, okay? Yeah, there's all these little groups and stuff. That's what's happening, you all. It is the truth, you know? And it's like you can't be a leftist because that's even splintered too. Because there are people on the left who think a certain way, but guess what? Within that certain way, there's even more division that separates them even more. The same thing with the right. You can't be considered a right person. Because guess what? Because that group is splintered too. And then within the splintered groups, there's even more dividing that's taking place. And within that other dividing, there's more dividing taking place there. So where nobody is in agreement with nothing. And then before you know it, you got these little teeny, tiny groups that came from a great big old togetherness. Okay. And they got divided. and they kept getting divided, and they will continue to get divided until there's just a little remnants. That's all it is, just little bitty remnants left. And you say, oh, that's not happening. It is happening. Okay, you can't be a conservative, you can't be a liberal, because even within those groups, they are divided, and they continue to be divided when they're divided. Okay, that's what's happening. It's all about dividing. Okay, it is. What's right and what is wrong, and why does it matter? Okay, it's wrong to continue to divide. Okay, what is right is to look beyond what's being done. Look beyond it and don't buy into it. Don't allow yourself to buy into the lies that you may hear. Okay, because more times than not, they're lies. If they're dividing you, they're lies. It's not love, okay? What was once whole, when you were whole, I'm sure there was a period of time in your life when you were in with like a group of like-minded individual and you felt complete. And then something happened. Boom. The enemy came in, reared its ugly head, and boom, you got divided. Then you were no longer feeling complete, because you know why you got divided? Because you had people within there who listened to that, who allowed it to happen, instead of closing their ears, closing their eyes, closing their mouth, not even allow themselves to be used as instruments of division. Okay, that's what happens. You get people who become conduits, instruments of division, so that they can divide. Yeah, if you are that type of person, you've been doing a good job letting them divide you and split you up and make you incomplete. Okay, that's yes. No, you all, we got to you don't want to be unraveled. You can it is possible to roll this yarn back up and become even more complete like it was before, to where everybody, all of it is connected. But as long as you are in a group and you allow somebody to keep pulling, you ain't going to have nothing left. Nothing. That's the same way with families. You allow people to come in and unravel you till there's nothing left. There's no unity, okay? There's no completeness. Nothing. Friendships, the same thing. Okay, the same thing. You might have once had beautiful friendships with people, and now you are divided. You might ask yourself, how did that happen? Well, you allowed it to happen. Because generally, that's what happens. You listen to something, and then, boom, next thing you know, you don't have that good friendship that you used to have, because you gave your ear to something else, and you listened to it. Okay, you bought the lie. Same way with families. Same way with families. Can you not see what's being done? Okay, the right, the left, the wrong. It's all the same. It's all the same. It's all intermingled. It's all mixed up in a great big old mess. That's why it matters. It's a big mess. They got the right and the wrong all bundled up just like that. So you are so confused, you don't even know which way you're going. That's what's happening, you all. Don't allow yourself to do that. Don't allow the enemy to come in and literally unravel you, destroy your relationships, destroy your families. Don't give in to that train of thought. Don't allow your families to be split even more. Okay, your friendships to be split even more. You may say, Gina, that's impossible. Yeah, sometimes it is, because you have people who refuse to tune out, and they buy the lies. They listen to something else instead of listening to their heart. They listen to something else instead of listening to their heart. You may say, well, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? God can know it. You know what's in your heart. You truly do. Love knows what's in there. Okay, you've got to ground yourself in love. You do. You've got to ground yourself in love. That's the only way you're going to make it out of this mess that's in this world. Okay, and there is beauty in this world. There is beauty. There is good to be found in this world if only you look for it. Okay, you can look for it, you can find it. But if you're looking around and thinking, okay, there's nothing good in this world, there's nothing good going on, it starts inside of here. The change you make inside of here can be the change that is created externally, all around you. Forget about what everybody else is doing. If they want to be negative, if they want to look at all the bad, just tune it out. You got a life to live. You're still on this earth. There's good on this earth. There is good on this earth, you all. It's not all bad, but we're being fed. It's all bad. It's all bad. It's horrible and it's horrific. You turn off the TV, turn off the radio. Don't let your eyes see it. Don't let your ears hear it. Just let it fade away. Make it fade away. You may say, you can't. You live on this earth. Well, that's exactly right. We live on this earth, but we don't have to give our energy to it. We don't have to let it consume us to where we no longer have the desire to live, to let the love flow out, desire to be humane to one another. We don't have to listen to it. We don't. Tune it all out. Don't let the division continue, because that's what's happening. We're being divided, and it's not the majority of the populace that's doing it. It isn't. It's all contained in the handful of a few. Okay, a few dark entities is what it is. And some people are oblivious to it all, totally oblivious. We got to wake up. You want to know what spiritual awakening is? You know what ascension is? You're waking up on the inside. Your eyes are opening up. You can see the right and the wrong. You can see the difference, what is right and what is wrong, okay? You're not leaving this earth until your time here on earth is up. It doesn't matter. You think, well, I'm going to leave it. No, you ain't going to leave until your time's up. You're not going to miraculously disappear like that at this period of time. Okay, if you're here, you're meant to be here right now. I'm sure you have a job to do. I'm sure you have a mission to do. Yeah, you all, please. What is right? What is wrong? And why does it matter? It matters. It all matters because it's being played out to everybody in every type of group. The division is occurring, and even more division is splintering happening. All of it to where you don't no longer have no joy on the inside of you, when your happiness is literally fading away. It's like fading away because you let that energy just, like you soaked it up like a big sponge. Okay, you don't want to be a sponge soaking up all that negative energy. Let me tell you something. Wring that sponge out. If you feel like you're a big sponge and you have soaked up all this energy, squeeze it all out of you. Get it out. Soak up some love. Soak up some goodness, because there is goodness and there is love. There's beauty all around. You don't need to be a sponge soaking up all that negativity till you are just waterlogged with negativity. You don't want to. It's not a life. Squeeze it out. You just picture a sponge, just squeeze it all out of you, and a lot of it's going to come out. You ain't no longer going to be waterlogged and bogged down within your spirit. You won't, and within your life, because people are looking at you, and what's happening to you does affect other people, okay? And it does, and it can spread. It's like its energy spreads, and if you're like a waterlogged sponge, you're just seeping out all over everybody else. Okay, you are. That negativeness is just pouring out, and if they're a sponge, they're going to soak it up. If they're a negative minded, you're going to have a bunch of sponges full of negativity that are overflowing and soggy. Squeeze yourselves all out, you all. Soak up some love, let that overflow, because that's the best thing to have inside of you is love. And it will change your focus. It will change your perception on life. It changes everything, okay? Because with that love comes peace inside of here. That's what comes with love, because it's a byproduct of peace. All that is good, okay? All that is good. I want you to live a good life. I want you to be happy. I want you to have love. But it starts inside of here. It's a conscious decision that you have to make. You've got to make that decision. You've got to get to that point to say, I'm not listening no more. No, I'm tired of you tearing me down. I'm tired of you destroying our families. I'm tired of you destroying our churches. I'm tired of you destroying our groups, our friendships, our marriages, our relationships, everything. You got to get to that point in your life when you say, I've had enough. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. And then stand your ground. You've got to get to that point to where you stand your ground and just plant your feet. Don't even move. Don't even budge. Because you know what? You can bend. You can bend, but you won't break. You won't break because you'll be grounded in love. Let love's roots just ground you straight down to the core. That's exactly right. You all, I am going to go. I'm going to go. I'm done talking. I am done talking. And thank you all for those comments. And thank you to the moderators on here. And yeah, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, you all, because there is division taking place. There is right, there is wrong, and it does matter because it's all being spread around and whispered in everybody's ear. Okay, don't listen to it. Don't even let it sink in. Let it go in one ear and out the other. You don't need it. You don't even need to see it. Block it out. Sometimes we need blinders on our eyes. We need things on our ears, and we need duct tape for our mouth, okay? You don't want to be an instrument for the further dividing of humanity. You do not. You want to unite. With that being said, have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you all so much. Love you.